This is the pile of jeans that have been the most problematic. These poorly behaved babies have annoyed me in one way or the other. One didn't fit my waist, one was too baggy at the crotch, one was too long at the bottom, one had rips at the wrong places. Eventually, they all ended up together at the back of my closet, the saddest place ever. Even though they haven't been the easiest children, I love them all as much as the other perfect pair of jeans. Well, okay, not exactly, but I might if this project works out. As soon as I watched Jess's video where she recycles old men's jeans, I thought I should do this. I am so excited for this project. So I started out by drawing the pattern on the paper, like she said. It's 62 by 45 centimeters. I used the exact same measurements as hers, but you can customize the pattern to suit your body. Then I marked 18 centimeters from both the sides at the top. I marked at the middle and drew a straight line 2 centimeters down. Then from there I'll draw two lines connecting the 18 centimeter points. I'll give it a curve to create the neckline for the jacket. I feel like I should stop explaining this bit because she does a way better job at explaining. I love that she has clear instructions on making the pattern for this jacket. It's a foolproof way to go about it. You get to be all arts and craftsy. Plus, finding a free pattern like this is such a valuable find. I cut the back part and used that to trace out the half of the front part. I did the modifications just how she told us to do. Then, using the front and the back patterns, I traced out the sleeves. I didn't have enough paper to draw the whole sleeve, so I'm just drawing half of the sleeve. The other half is just gonna be the same thing but mirrored. I cut the sleeve in half because we want one half to be of one color and the other half to have another color. I cut out the front and the back patterns just like she told so. Now she has used two colors in this jacket, but I'm gonna use three. I have black, dark blue and light blue with me. I want to incorporate those colors in a way that they actually look appealing and not shabby. Her jacket turned out great. It looks so high-end and so neat, especially at the places where her colors crisscross, like the diagonally opposite blocks are of the same color. They touch each other at just one point, and that effect is the one that I admire the most in a jacket. To have that effect in my jacket, my upper back piece is going to be black and my lower sleeve piece would be black too. The back left and back right pieces would be dark blue, and the diagonally opposite blocks to them, which would be the upper sleeve, would be dark blue as well. The back middle piece would be light blue. Now the front, I have the front upper piece which would be black, and the front lower sleeve would be black too because they are diagonally opposite. Now I was debating whether I should keep the front piece, which is the front body piece, to be light blue or dark blue. I also wanted the front upper sleeve to be of a different color than the front body piece because I think it would show a bit more variety in the colors and it would look really pleasing. I ended up choosing light blue for the front body piece and dark blue for the upper sleeve. Now let's get to cutting. I started with the light blue jeans. I have to cut the back center part and the front bodice parts from the light blue jeans. The back center part would look so good with the denim seam running in the middle of it. So I chose to cut the fabric from the leg of the jeans such that it has that seam running through it. I opened up the leg of the jeans to make cutting that part easier. Now I have to cut the front lower parts. My jeans wasn't that big, so I couldn't cut the whole pattern. So I had to make this whole part by joining three small parts, and the seam would run in the middle of it. I cut out all the three parts and joined them together by placing them right sides together and stitching. The seam which was supposed to run in the middle, well, I kind of delayed doing that just now because I was too excited to move on to the other parts. Side note, I took an entire day to make the paper pattern and another day just to cut the parts from the light blue jeans. Well, not an entire day, just like 2 hours per day. That is my current stitching stamina. It's poor. Moving on, at a snail's pace, I took the dark blue jeans and traced out the patterns like so on it. For the sleeve, I wanted the seam to run right at the center, so I cut out the pattern from the leg of the jeans accordingly. The back part was made by placing the light blue part in between the dark blue parts and stitching them all together at the sides. I want a dark blue seam to run at the dark blue light blue junction line, but I delayed doing that again. It was the black jeans' time to sacrifice her life for a bigger purpose. So you can see her using her back pockets as self-defense to try to prevent me from tracing out the entire pattern by coming in the way. I had to resort to violence and seam ripped her pockets. A few ties were broken, but it's all for a bigger cause. To form the upper back piece, I actually cut two halves of the pattern because the jeans again didn't allow me to cut a continuous pattern. I joined the halves in the middle to form the entire pattern. Then I stitched the black part with the bottom blues to construct the entire back piece. I'm loving how this is turning out so far. It's like putting together the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. I did the same thing for my sleeves and for my front part. You can hardly go wrong with this project, and it's a project where you actually enjoy doing every single step of it. Now I connected the front piece with the back piece at the shoulders. Notice how this jacket and Jess's jacket has an element of symmetry. Well, if you want to switch things up and maybe do the sleeves in opposite colors and make the two front bodice pieces in different colors with different colored pockets placed on them, then it'll still look pretty amazing. I attached the sleeves to this jacket by making sure that the blue-black lines match. Then I folded the jacket inside out and marked where I want to close the sleeves and stitched together the front and back pieces at the sides. I stitched both the sides. Next step was making the collar of the jacket. Jess uses a piece of fabric that is as long as the neckline with some added seam allowance, and the width of the fabric is 12 inches. I didn't have enough fabric to make the strip 12 inches wide, so I could only do 6 inches. That too with two different colors. I followed her exact same procedure, with the only difference being in the width of our collars. I'm happy with how the jacket is looking so far, but the collar just looks off, to put it nicely. It looks disproportionate, and I should have listened to Jess by going with 12 inches. I seam ripped the collar off of the jacket. I also seam ripped it at the sides. Then I took out another jeans to provide me with this extra material, and I traced the previous opened up collar on the leg of this jeans. Now I have with me another piece of fabric that is identical to the previous one, and both of them are 12 inches in width. I placed them wrong sides together and stitched at the top and at the sides. Now my collar has two faces. One is completely dark blue and one is dual colored. I'm gonna use the dual colored side to face up, and the plain would be facing under. I'm actually happy that I made this mistake, because otherwise I wouldn't have had this super cool dual colored collar. It's only the first day of 2021 and it's already working its magic on me. I quickly attached the collar on my jacket. Now the jacket is pretty much done. The only thing that's left is to put in the seams of the jeans into the places where two parts are stitched onto each other. And I seam ripped the places where the seam has to go inside the jacket, and then I'll just close up that seam once I'm done stitching the jean seam on this jacket. love how this jacket turned out, especially because it was a huge project for me. It took like weeks to do. It looks easy, but it's actually a bit tedious, but at the end it's the most rewarding thing you will ever make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.